So I went on vacation recently, and boy, I wish I was still there. The vacation was in Florida, and I went to a theme park while I was there. And the park, it might be locally owned. Some of you from that area may have heard it. It's called Disney World. I went to Epcot, and while at Epcot, I, of course, rode the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Are you kidding? And it was incredible. Honestly, I would go back just to ride that ride. And after the ride, we stopped in the gift shop. Being the American consumer that I am, I got these things. What are these? They're supposed to be like the holographic displays that the Nova Corps used in the movies to show like an inmate's profile or something. It has all the information on it for the particular villains. So I call these things villain ID hologram cards. Now, we've all gotten things like this in our lives, whether it's at an amusement park or at a fair or something. You know, little trinkets like this. It's keychains, it's little medallions, little coins, something like that. And what do we do with them? Every time, and I'm speaking from experience here, we get something that at the moment we go, oh, that's cool, it's only a few bucks, or it's only 20 tickets or whatever, and we get it. Then what happens with it? It sits on the desk for a while, you get sick of having it out, you want to declutter, you throw it in the drawer, you kind of forget about it over time, you find it one day and you throw it out, you give it away, you donate it. I've fallen victim to that so many times, and I didn't want that to happen with these. And since I have a 3D printer, I have the power to create whatever I can think of. I resolved to create something that would let me mount them to the wall. So how do we do that? We use rectangles. So I took some measurements and I hopped in my design software and I created a rectangle that was a little bit bigger than the card itself. Then I used a series of additional rectangles to merge all into one and create cuts in the base rectangle. Those rectangles that were designated as being holes will cut out. I had a very short rectangle be placed on top of everything. That way there would still be a lip to sort of hold everything in. So I printed it out. I gave it a white background. That way you could see it in all its glory. And then when you put the card in, you got a little display mount. My initial idea was to mount these to the wall, but if I put a hole and a nail in the back of this thing, well, even with the card in there, you'd see the nail. And I didn't like the look of that. So I hopped back in my design software and wouldn't you believe it, I made another rectangle. I took the dimensions off of the first rectangle, which became the frame for the card, and I started adding more rectangles back in. Many of them became holes. That way similar cuts could be made, just like were made with this piece. Cut out hunks of material from the middle where you just simply don't need all that extra stuff. It's fine to be missing material there, save on cost. I added some cylindrical holes that could act as pass-throughs for the nails and merge it all together. And you've got another rectangle, my friend. This project really made me start to like rectangles. Similarly, this thing has a lip so that the frame is held in securely. And then we put two on top of each other and merge them together, and bam, we've got a way to mount two vertically on top of each other, and then we print that out. Now we can take these cards and slot them in, slot in a second one right on top, nail it to the wall, and we're done. But there was a problem. See, the perfect place that I had determined to place these was mounted to the wall next to a shadow box that I have some Iron Man figures in and some other Marvel stuff on top. And that shadow box is black. So these things, while they looked great, pretty much exactly how I imagined them, they kind of stuck out. And the whole ensemble just looked really washed out. How do you take something new and match it to something existing that's black? Yeah, you make the new thing black. Luckily, there's no redesign involved, so we just take this, get rid of it, print a second one in black, and we're good to go. So now we can take the card and slot it in. It's still not quite right, is it? You still have all this white facing you as you look straight on at it. You need the white background so the card shows, but that white frame just really distracts from it. This is where we use our best friend, the color change. And I used a color change in the last video where I printed the trophy for the Fantasy Football League, where I had to change from navy blue to maize yellow. All we have to do is program that color change into the software. We reprint it, white at first, have it change over to black just at the right moment so that the part you look at on the front is black. You still have the white background, for the card. And then we put the villain hologram card inside, and everything looks awesome. And if we look at it side by side against the all-white card, it really makes the villain ID hologram card pop. Nail them to the wall, and right next to the shadow box, they look awesome. And given that the shadow box was already sort of a hub for displaying Marvel items, just makes sense. And in the end, I ended up with a cool and unique way to display these little trinkets or knickknacks, whatever you want to call them, and keep them out and visible so that they stay out of the drawer and they can be seen and enjoyed forevermore. And I really enjoyed being able to come up with that solution and truly display something like this. It's something I've never been able to do before, and it's the power of 3D printing that got me there. And I hope you found that interesting as well. If you liked the video, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up down below. I appreciate the hell out of you for watching this video. It really means a lot. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch the next one, and I look forward to seeing you there.